I want to give you 7 tips, things you need to consider if you're recently widowed. First and foremost, you need to have good people surrounding you. This includes family members, but it should also include an attorney, a CPA, and your financial advisor. Hopefully you already have those relationships established so that you're not having to find people to work with during a very difficult time. The next thing you're going to want to have is a really good financial plan. A financial plan is more than just an investment strategy. You need to have everything detailed, how much income you're going to have coming in, how much expenses you have, and how much money you have to draw from to help supplement those, and then how long that money is going to last. So you want to have a very good financial plan in addition to a really good investment strategy. Now, the next thing you need to be thinking about is if your spouse had a 401k at their employer, you're probably going to want to roll that money over to an IRA. And most spouses, in most situations, I would say they just roll that 401k into their own IRA. That way they can treat it as their own. But there is an exception to that rule. If you were under the age of 59 and a half and you're planning to take money out of those retirement assets, instead of rolling it into a spousal IRA or into your own IRA, you might want to consider doing a transfer into an inherited IRA. This way you can access the funds without having to pay the 10% early withdrawal penalty. And so let's say you're 55 years old when your spouse dies, you would move it into an inherited IRA. And then after you reach the age of 59 and a half, when those 10% penalties go away, then you could consider just transferring that into your own IRA at that point. The next thing you're going to want to consider are Social Security benefits. You're going to receive a small death benefit from Social Security. But more importantly, if you have kids that are still living at home, there could be a family benefit available for those kids who are under the age of 18 or if they're still in school. There's also something called a widower benefit or survivor benefit, and you can actually start that income as early as age 60. The thing you want to be careful with on the widower benefit is that there are still income restrictions. So in 2024, if you earn more than $22,320, for every $2 you make above that, they'll take back $1. So if you're still working, it may not make sense to start that widower benefit at age 60. Now, there is one other little nuance here with the widower benefit that you have available that most people don't have, which is called a restricted application. So let's say you make it to full retirement age, which for most people is going to be 66 or 67 these days. At full retirement age, you could file a restricted application and request to have only your spouse's benefit paid to you. What this would allow you to do is have your own benefit continue to earn those 8% delayed retirement credits till age 70. And then at age 70, you could switch from your survivor benefit to your own higher benefit if the numbers work out that way for you. Taxes are another major consideration. There's something called a qualified widower benefit that says that you can file as a qualified widower for up to 2 years after the death of your spouse. You still get to benefit from having a higher standard deduction when you're filing for the qualified widower benefit. So if you do need to take a distribution from an IRA, you might want to consider doing it during that 2-year window, or if you're thinking about doing things like Roth conversions, do it while you still have a higher standard deduction. The next tip is you really want to wait 12 full months before you make any major financial decisions, before you decide to sell a house or buy a car or make any big gifts or purchases. I recommend that you wait a full 12 months before doing anything like that and make sure you have good people surrounding you to make sure you're making good decisions. And unfortunately, the last thing you need to be concerned with are scams. I've heard stories of people after they become widowed. They get onto social media, they meet somebody, and then they end up sending money to people over the internet. And so you really got to be careful. You have to realize that your brain's not working right for at least the next 12 months as a result of the loss of a loved one. So be very, very careful about meeting new people online and make sure that you're surrounding yourself with family and friends that can help you navigate these really challenging times. I hope you found these tips helpful. Thanks so much.